I've got another game in mind that's going to be impactful on both teams who are racing to make it to the playoffs. I'm paying attention to the Bucs-Packers game. And I'll tell you what the story of this game is, at least initially looking at it. It is injury, injury, injury. On the Packers side, you've got Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Christian Watson, Darnell Savage, Jair Alexander. None of them practiced.
On the Bucs side, too. You got Wicks and Reed as well.
Indeed, they had limited participation today, but they're not doing great. On the Bucs side, Chris Godwin, Jamel Dean, Vita V, Carlton Davis, Devin White, Ryan Neal, right? So critical players on both sides aren't practicing, might not be playing. And this is one of the worst times that could happen for both teams. The Buccaneers in the division race, right, going to Green Bay, they need every single win they can get. I'm pretty sure with tiebreakers, they're technically first in the division right now, but that could easily change. Green Bay, on the other hand, maybe got a little bit too hot, maybe got a little bit too excited, started seeing some stars a little bit, just lost on the road to Tommy DeVito, NFC Player of the Week. They've got to get it together and win this game if they want to make the playoffs.
Do you know that before we talk about this game, that us and Tommy DeVito, there's no difference? Like, we're both 25, both from North Jersey, living at home with our parents.
I'm Italian Jersey.
Like, there is no difference, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he went to high school 5 minutes from where we did. He lives with his parents at home, same age.
No, actually, they were talking about DeVito during the broadcast, and I was like, wait, they said 25, like, with his brother. And I looked over at my brother, and it was like, Italian family. What the hell?
The only difference is he plays for the Giants. That's literally it.
Well, I mean, you got a helmet right there.
Yeah, is there a difference? I mean, maybe there's not.
Ziggy, that's true what you said there. Like, every game is a must-win for the Bucs right now. And the Falcons have Carolina this week, and the Saints have the Giants, who, I'm still assuming the Giants aren't that good. Who knows what's happening at the moment? But those should be, it feels like those are 2 wins for the teams that you're racing for the NFC South crown with. So, it gets to a must-win point for Tampa Bay here. And I hate this argument about what's important in games when you say turnovers, because obviously turnovers are important to football games. But the Bucs this year are 3-1 in games where they don't turn the ball over and 0-4 in games where they have 2 turnovers. And the Packers are one of the worst in the league at actually forcing turnovers. So that's one spot here where Tampa Bay can say, okay, it depends what Baker you get. If you get good Baker, this Packers team is so young, you have a shot.
Yeah, man, going back to what I said preseason, my NFC South champion pick. You've seen what Baker can do. He's got his decent games in him. This, to me, is a really, really big game for Green Bay. Coming home, the Giants game, to me, is similar to what we saw with Houston at the Jets. Same stadium. A bit of a trap spot. Like, they're riding a bit of a high. They're favored. And then they're caught out of nowhere on the road. It happens, young quarterback. But I don't want to take away the fact that the Packers lost the game from, again, what Jordan Love and the Packers did. I know Barkley fumbled the ball and kind of gave it to him late there, but they took a late lead in a game the Giants controlled for the most part. And we saw a great drive by DeVito, game-winning field goal. It happens, but now you're in a playoff race, and I don't think a lot of Packers fans expected to be here. And now you're at home against a team under 500, a very winnable game. I really, really want to see a good turnover-free Jordan Love in this game against Tampa Bay.
Oh, I'm completely with you. Sorry, Ziggy, I'll be quick.
No, you're good.
Jordan Love, if you could give him a team to come home and play a game against, there are not many that you'd pick over the Buccaneers right now. Last week, Desmond Ritter threw for 347 yards, the career high. Drake May had 172 receiving yards. Like, this is one of the worst. I believe they're the 3rd worst passing defense in the NFL. So it's a nice spot to get right for Jordan Love. But at the same time here, the injury concerns at receiver are actually quite concerning. Yeah. If Watson's out and Reed is out and Wicks is out, it's already a unit that has a lot of good players, but there's not many who can really take over a football game. If you start stripping away, 1, 2, 3, and you just have 1 or 2 guys that you trust, and Musgrave is out as well, at some point you have to be realistic with the capabilities of the Packer offense, even though you're going up against one of the worst defenses.
I'm not saying I want to see Jordan Love look like a world beater. I just want to see him do enough and look solid and win this game. And a game they probably should win at home against Tampa Bay. Again, December, their type of weather. I don't think Tampa's really that good at all.
Well, here's the thing to worry about, I think, is Tampa Bay matches up well against the Green Bay Packers in one really important aspect. Over the past few weeks, the Bucs running offense has sort of come online, right? You know, they had a tough start to the season, but Rachaad White has gone over 100 yards in 2 of his last 3 games. And against the Falcons, actually, Mike Evans had 1 catch for 8 yards. Buccaneers were still able to pull the victory out. Then you go to Green Bay with the 31st ranked run defense in the entire league, giving up an average of 4.6 yards per carry, an average of 142 yards on the ground per game. They really need the run defense to perform, because if the Buccaneers are able to hold the ball, run effectively, and score, Jordan Love, I just don't think is going to be able to keep up.
And that's what so many Packers fans were mad about last week. They kind of gave Love a pass. You have bad games. They were really unhappy with Joe Barry. They have been for a long time in Green Bay. They don't like the way that defense looks at all. And the last drive has gotten a lot of the criticism. I'm expecting a better performance from Green Bay here. Like, it feels like a spot where everyone's like, their fan base came down hard on them for that performance against the Giants, because you're in the middle of a playoff chase. You can't look that way against Tommy DeVito. Like, you just can't. One thing I want to see for Love is I expect Jaden Reed to play, and he had 8 catches. I believe that was a career high for him. He had 8 catches for 27 yards. Like, come on, let's move the ball downfield a little bit more. That's something Packers fans were so excited to see over this winning streak, was Jordan Love throwing over the middle of the field, like making plays there. Everything was so short against the Giants, and you're running these sweeps left and right to Reed. Sure, the first one scored, but the last 2 got blown up for a 5-yard loss, and you lost a 2-point conversion on it. I want to see better play calling too, and I'm expecting a bounce back perforence.
I mean, that touchdown pass to take a lead was fantastic.
So is the other one. So is the other one that should have been ruled a catch.
Yes. I don't know how that wasn't a catch. So there's like 2 steps and then it was knocked out. But like, nonetheless, it was as bad or sloppy that they may have looked on the road. Love was not the reason they lost that game. They were winning, and it was DeVito made some nice plays at the end of the game.
They didn't sack him once. He was sacked 15 times the past 2 games, Tommy DeVito. They didn't get him once. Like, go get Baker Mayfield. This has to be a statement game for the Packer defense.
Yeah.